Hello, everybody. Today we are moving on to 9.4 notes. We're going to do the front page of the notes today and the back page the next lesson. So, an expression is simplified when the numerator and denominator have no common factors other than plus or minus 1. So, the name of the game is these two blanks today. This is all you're going to do. You're going to factor everything you can. So to simplify, factor the top and bottom, so everything you can factor, and then cancel common factors. Factor, cancel, factor, cancel, factor, cancel. That's all that we're doing today. Okay, so to start number 1, it says x squared plus 6x over x plus 6. Now, I want you to just take the whole numerator and the whole denominator. So right now, I'm only concerned about this. So what can I factor there? Well, it has a GCF. They both have an x, so I can factor out x, and what's left over is x plus 6. On bottom, there's also an x plus 6. Now, you might say, well, Mr. Adler, this one doesn't have parentheses around it. That's fine because I have the exact same thing here and here. We can cancel those two out. Now, the whole thing goes. You can't just say, okay, well, this x and this x are gone. Now I'm left with x plus 6 over x. That's not okay. But what you can do is say this is the exact same thing and this is the exact same thing. Those are both quantities, and I can reduce those. And what I'm left with is just x. Okay, on to number 2. Oh boy. Number 2 says x minus 4 over x squared minus 16. Again, look at the whole numerator. The numerator, I can't factor at all. X minus 4 is just x minus 4. Now the denominator, you might remember that this is difference of squares. It's difference, I'll write this down, difference of squares. It's difference because I'm subtracting in the middle, and it's squares because they're both perfect squares. What's the square root of x squared? X. What's the square root of 16? Choose a different color. Square root of 16, if I can choose a different color, is 4. So when I factor out difference of squares, it looks like the square root of the first number first, x, can't write today. Square root of the second term second, 4. Now one of them's plus, one of them's minus. Okay, so we factored. Step 1 is factor. Step 2, cancel. Now I look to cancel out my common term. So in other words, what looks the exact same on top and bottom? X minus 4 and x minus 4. So what's left on the bottom? There is an x plus 4. Now on top, when I cross those off, they don't just go away. What I'm technically doing is dividing them by each other. So there's still a 1 on top. So it's 1 over x plus 4 as your final answer. Okay, on to number 3. Again, if you want to pause the video and try it for yourself, that's fine. The name of the game is factor everything you can, then cancel. Factor, then cancel. Okay, I'll shut up for about 3 seconds. Hopefully you can try it, and then I will go from there. So I'm going to factor the top first. I'm looking for numbers that multiply to negative 6 and add to negative 5. So that is going to be x minus 6 and x plus 1. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the bottom. I have x squared minus 1. How the heck do I factor that? Well, just like before, this is a difference of squares. The square root of x squared is x. The square root of 1 is 1. So when I factor this, it's going to come down to x comes first, 1 comes second, 1 comes second, 1's plus, 1's minus. Now we factored, we did this step. Now we're going to start canceling in step 2. So in other words, what looks the exact same on top and bottom? This and this. They cancel out. We're left with x minus 6 over x minus 1. Now you can write it like this, or you can group them with parentheses. Either way is correct. It's probably neater if you write it like this, but no big deal either way. Okay, number 4, I'm actually not going to do number 4. This is sum of difference of cubes, which some of you may remember, some of you may not, but we're not going to do it because of the shutdown. I want to keep things somewhat simple, so don't worry about number 4. And that's all I have for you today. We're going to do some more in-depth problems of these tomorrow.